Yeah, today we have the awesome, the legend, Sherbs, who is the Mode co-founder, and he is here to talk about the project genesis of derivative of Avastars. So here he is. Sherbs, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And yeah, as Sandy said, we're here to talk about two things really. We're going to talk about Mode, which is the group that I co-founded. It stands for Members Only Digital Ecosystem. And then the Genesis NFT project that we launched called the A6 experiment, which is a Avastars derivative. So bear with me just a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay. Can everybody see this okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. So this is the Mode homepage. So again, stands for Members Only Digital Ecosystem. Mode is the first blockchain verified social and professional network for the NFT DeFi community. It is also an NFT club. So this is a members only group. Members are added to the network by application only. You can apply right here on the top right hand side of the website is the application link. Fill out a form, we receive that, review it, and then if you are accepted, you're notified via email, and you are given a 48-hour window to purchase your membership token. And that membership token is what's going to give you access to the network, to the private Discord, and then it's going to also unlock the benefits that come along with your Mode membership. The member token itself is this image that you're staring at right here. It is animated, so I'm going to click so you can see the animated version. This token was designed by one of our favorite artists, Bananakin, who we got to know through Pranksy's NFT Boxes project. We collaborated with him on this design, and every single Mode member is going to have their Mode member number uniquely added to their NFT. So this particular NFT is my co-founder, PA Explorers. He is Mode member number 1. I was kind enough to let him have that. And the way that all of these tokens will appear on OpenSea, it's basically kind of a freeze frame. So each one is unique, has its own color scheme. Let me show you what that looks like really quick. So these are the member tokens. You can see all kind of different color schemes. The Mode member numbers are printed right on the card there. And these are the unique identifiers for our members. We have some pretty big names in our group. We have a lot of developers in our group. We have several project founders in our group, a lot of very well experienced NFT DeFi people. And really that was kind of what the group was supposed to start as. NFT DeFi experts. We want to front fill the membership with those kinds of folks. And, to get in, by the way, I don't want to seem like we are elitist with our application only membership process. It's not terribly complicated to get into this group. The membership criteria is pretty easy. So basically what you need is you need to have NFTs in your wallet from at least 2 unique projects. Beyond that, you have to have executed a transaction on a decentralized exchange. That could be something as simple as exchanging ETH for wrapped ETH on OpenSea because they use Uniswap, or at least they used to. So not terribly difficult to meet the criteria for acceptance. And then once you're a member, you then gain access to our private Discord. You get the member benefits. And speaking of member benefits, I guess that's probably a good time for me to segue into our Genesis NFT project, which is the A6 experiment, an Avastars derivative project. Now, what we did for this project, and I'm going to go right here on our website is the section for the A6 experiment. What we did for the A6 experiment was we took 210 Avastars. These are Avastars that were owned by either myself, my co-founder, PA Explorer, or one of our members. Several months back, we opened up the opportunity for Mode members to submit up to 2 of their Avastars. If they didn't have any, they could have purchased them at that time and then submitted them to be used for this project. So there's 210 total Avastars used for the project. Each one of those 210 Avastars will have its own collection of 20, which are the Avastar remixed and then 19 identical clone copies with different rarity frames on them. So let me show you guys the art here. So on our website, we're teasing some of the art. You can see that what you see in front of you is the remixed piece. If you put your cursor over it, it shows you the original Avastar. So we have a bunch of different artists here remixing different Avastars. You can see their piece and then the original when you put your cursor over it, like I said. This particular one right here was done by Jesse at the Dope Art. Jesse was the artist on the Eternal Royals project, which was a 10,000 token NFT project that sold out, I believe, in 24 hours. This one is from Mr. Gray, who's on our team. His token's animated, all of them actually. Odion Toby, he's an artist from Nigeria, realistic 3D artist. We call this one the Jimmy. It looks really cool. We love this one. Bananakin, who's our member token artist. Then we have Siamese Teddy, Potato, Woman NFT, and Huckworts, who is also a member of the Avastars community. So 10 different artists, each of them did 21 of these Avastars for that total collection of 210. The way that this works is I'm going to explain the rarity and the distribution and then how that ties into utility. So again, each one of these Avastars has its own collection of 20. And we used rarity frames here. We used the original icons from the Avastars project and just did a little design around that to make these frames. So with each Avastar, there's going to be 10 commons, 4 uncommons, 3 rares, 2 epics, and 1 legendary, which makes up the total collection of 20. So 210 Avastars, each with its own collection of 20, for a total of 4,200 NFTs in the collection, which is a shout out to NFT42, who we collaborated with on this project. Now, let's talk about the cool stuff, the utility. We are really proud of what we've put together for this. We think we're breaking some ground here with what we're doing with utility. I can't talk about all of it right now, but I'm going to share as much as I can with you. Let's start, we'll go in order here. So let's start with the legendary utility. So again, there's going to be 1 legendary per collection, 210 collections, so 210 total legendary pieces. We are not announcing the utility for this. This is going to be a secret utility, and it's going to be revealed only via unlockable content. So if you mint a legendary A6 piece, you will be able to reveal the unlockable content, which will explain to you what the secret utility is. Put it this way, this utility is associated with the highest level of rarity, so it's good. Moving along, we also have a utility for epics. If you mint an epic piece that contains either a bubblegum trait or a party blower trait, there is 4 of each, by the way, for a total of 8. If you mint one of these pieces, you're going to be entitled to a gift that was curated by Gary Vaynerchuk for the VFriends Gift Goat community. For those of you that are not familiar, Gary Vaynerchuk is quite famous in the marketing space. He's become a massive figure in the NFT space. I'd be surprised if there's people on this call that don't know who he is. VFriends is the project that he created, and a Gift Goat is a specific VFriends token. I believe the floor on Gift Goats right now is something like 41 or 42 ETH. So there are 18 physical gifts and 18 NFTs that go to Gift Goat holders. We are giving away 6 of the physical gifts and 2 of the NFTs. So if you mint one of these epic pieces with either the bubblegum trait or the party blower trait, you are a winner of one of those gifts. Next up, if you mint a rare token with a Band-Aid trait, there are 3 of these. We are giving away tickets to VCon, which is the conference in Minneapolis this coming May that VFriends is holding. This ticket itself is an NFT. So if you decide, if you were to win this ticket and you decided that you didn't want to go to VCon, or you couldn't make it, or you live too far away, this is an NFT that you'll be able to sell on the open market very easily. So that is what we're giving away for the rares. And then we're also giving away future mints for mode projects. If you curate a set of 10 uncommon NFTs or 20 common NFTs from this project, that will entitle you to a free mint on any future mode project that you desire. In addition to Mode being that social professional network and NFT club, we are also a brand, and we are launching NFT projects under this brand. So, the first one, our Genesis project, is this A6 experiment, but moving forward into the future, we will continue launching NFT projects, and this is an opportunity to get in on a free mint for that. There is an Easter egg in this project. The first group of minters that joined Mode back in November, they have a special role. They're all known as first founders. We recently just sent out hoodies to all of our first founders. They have a first founder badge on the shoulder of the hoodie. This image that you're staring at here is what that first founder badge looks like. And in 42 of the 4,200 NFTs in the A6 experiment, we have hidden these first founder Easter eggs. If you mint a piece with a first founder Easter egg, you are entitled to a refund of your entire transaction. So the mint price on this project is 0.069 ETH. If you were to mint 10 in a transaction, it's going to cost you 0.69 ETH. If one of those has a first founder badge Easter egg, you get refunded back your 0.69 ETH. If you happen to be a mode member, in addition to getting that refunded, you also get your mode member token fee refunded. Another little benefit there for the mode members. We have not announced yet what the utility is going to be for this, but we are going to have a utility announced very shortly before project launch that's going to be granted for curating a full uncommon set, a full rare set, or a full epic set. What that means is that you are in possession of an NFT. Let's just say you're trying to curate a full epic set. That means that you have an epic NFT from each of the 10 artists in this project. And that's basically it for utility. We're very excited about the legendary one. Again, that's only going to be revealed via unlockable content. And we also have a section on our website dedicated purely to the lore. When we built this project, it was extremely important to us that we honored the original project appropriately. We did not want to do anything without the blessing of the team, without their collaboration. So we worked directly with them to build out our lore, to make sure there was continuity in the storyline. And I'm not going to play it for you now, but there's a video here that you can check out on our website. You can play it and it will show you the lore. There's also a section on the website that allows you to just check out all of the artists that we have on this project. We have artists from all over the world, men and women. We're very proud of the work that they've done. So you can see their bios here, learn a little bit about them, where they're from, the type of art that they make. This project for us is very much about the artists. Mode is attempting to be a launch pad for artists, and the largest share of revenue from this project is going back to the artists. That's something that we're very proud of. You don't see too many NFT projects doing that with the artists that are making the artwork for their successful projects. So that was important to us. We want to make sure that the artists here are properly compensated for the hundreds of hours that each of them put in on making all of this beautiful art. What I want to do here, because we're getting close on time, I want to just showcase a couple pieces here. I mentioned that a few of these artists made animated pieces. Mr. Gray is one of them. Bananakin is one of them. So I just want to kind of tease a few of these things. And by the way, this group that is on this show right now is going to be the first group to ever see some of these NFTs. We haven't shown this with any of our other communities yet, including the mode community. So this is a first look here. So we have this avatar here is reimagined by Bananakin and now looks like this. So Bananakin, he has 3-second animations on his pieces. We love his style so much. And then also Mr. Gray did animated pieces. This is one of the pieces that he did that was animated. Here's the original avatar. And then here is the animated piece from Mr. Gray. You can see here, this one is in a, the video is going a little choppy here. This one is in a common rarity frame. So these are what the animated pieces are going to look like. And then I also wanted to highlight one piece by an artist who, actually, this piece is from Odion Toby. Odion, this one I believe actually might have been teased before, so this may not be a first look. Odion is a realistic 3D artist from Nigeria. His pieces are so cool. He took this and he made this. I zoom in here, you can see he's got the gold grill in there, but his pieces are super realistic, super high def. We just love them so much. And then lastly, this piece here, this piece was reimagined by one of our A6 artists, Siamese Teddy, who also happens to be a personal friend of mine. He was kind of on the shelf with his art career, just focusing on, his professional career doing full stack developing. But back in high school, a very long time ago, he was awarded for the best digital art piece in the country. He won a Scholastic Award for that. And I convinced him to get back into art for this project. And I'm just so proud of what he does. He incorporates real life things into his images. So just to give you an example, this piece here that he remixed, this is what he did with it. And I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. All of the facial hair is bananas. So you can see here the mustache, bananas, the beard, larger bananas. The feature on the cheeks here, for Avastar's fan, you'll recognize this as the Santa feature. But what he did here is he used bowling ball holes. So this is just his style. He's got some stained glass in the background here to make like a really cool color scheme. So all of his pieces incorporate this real life imagery. I just think it's so unbelievably cool. Every artist that we have on this project added their own unique touch. And like I said, we couldn't be happier with how things came out. And we're really, really excited to share this project with you all. We don't have an exact launch date at this time. We are targeting the second week of March. Once we get a little bit closer and we know that we can announce with confidence and we're going to hit those target dates, we will do that. But in the meantime, we're just going to continue to educate folks about this project, talk about what we're building at Mode, and then we're going to launch, like I said, probably the second week in March. So that basically sums it up. We're also going to be hosting an AMA in our Discord channel tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if anybody has questions, they can ask them there. I'm going to take, looks like I'm going to have about 5 minutes or so to take questions here on this call as well, which I'm happy to do. And then lastly, we're also doing a contest on our Discord where you have a chance to win up to 5 Avastars that were used for this project that either belong to myself or my co-founder, PA Explorer. And then if you're one of the winners of one of the 5 winners of the contest, you will be given one of those Avastar Primes used for this royalties that comes along with that piece. So really cool giveaway that we're doing on that front. I thank you all for your ears today, and hopefully you guys are excited about this project. I don't usually like to present in this fashion where I'm just talking and showing images, and I'm much more of a conversational type person. I like to just have a back and forth dialogue about this, answer people's questions, address any concerns that people have. But we've put in thousands of hours of our own time into this. This is our baby, and we're really proud of what we built, and thank you so much for letting me share it with you. And I guess at this point, if there's any questions, I am happy to take them.
Dude, Sherbs, you're doing an awesome job. So thank you. Very cool project. I love that you guys are bringing life to Avastars. A lot of really, really cool art pieces that I'm looking at, and I'm in love with one of the ones mentioned. I won't say which one, just because I don't want anybody else to steal it. So, yeah. Any questions, anyone? I'm looking at the chat and everybody's agreeing. Very cool, excited, awesome, nice.
So I'm going to, I guess, stop sharing my screen. If I can figure out how to
I have a question for the giveaway. So once they enter the Mode Discord, where does one look for this giveaway?
That is a great question. So let me just pull it up here, and I will show you where the announcement is. So in the Mode Discord here, and it's not going to look like this for most people. This is just what mine looks like. But in the A6 experiment section, there is an announcements channel, and it is right here. So as on the 8th, there's only a handful of announcements underneath it. So this is the announcement. It's right there for you to see, and it explains what needs to be done for the contest.
Awesome. So you guys heard that. Make sure to go into the Mode Discord to get all that information and enter to win that giveaway as well. Has a lot of really cool features.
I want to know what your favorite is. I'm so curious now.
No. Okay, so in mine, it's between the banana one and also, let me see, the chief girl, the Native American. So yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a beauty. So I'm glad you like it. And we've only shown about I'm going to say 20 to 25% of the art so far for this project. So much of the art has yet to be revealed, and we're just excited for everybody to see all the hard work that the artists put in. Their pieces are amazing. And the last thing I would say is that just to clear up some confusion that we've seen from some other folks that have recently joined our community, when you come into the Discord, just be sure to claim your roles. If you don't claim roles, you're not going to get access to see any of this stuff. And then also, mode and the A6 experiment are two separate things. You do not have to be a mode member to mint this project. Of course, we would love for people to apply, but they are mutually exclusive. So you can participate in this A6 experiment project without being a mode member or a mode applicant. This is open to everyone. You just have some advantages if you are a mode member. So that's basically it. I look forward to seeing some of you pop into our Discord join. And like I said, we're doing an AMA tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, where PA Explorer and myself are going to be taking questions, talking more about the project, and just trying to clarify things for everybody.
Nope. Thank you so much for your time, Shervs. And
Thank you.
looking
Thanks again
forward
for
to
having me.
it.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And that's wraps up the pre-WIP, everyone. We have about 2 minutes, and we just want to let you guys know that moving forward, the pre-WIP will consist of the WIP girls, which are Carolina, Foxy Yoga, and myself. So we'll be planning some pre-WIPs, some pre-purr with the WIP girls. We'll have like a combination of other speakers coming in, some yoga classes to meditate and relax, and then of course some music to party. So please look forward to that too. And we've got about 1 minute. Let's do this. Let's get ready. Make sure you guys are entering into the Mona gallery. I'm still waiting. It's priming the canvas. Almost there.
Awesome. Whose mic is hot, y'all? Sherbs, that was you. It's all good. Big shout out to Sherbs, holding it down with the pre-whip her this week, educating folks about what they're doing over with the mode project, and also with that A6 experiment. Looks really, really cool. No need to wait here, y'all. We can get things rolling, but also just big shout out to Sandy Meows for taking over and assuming and making the pre-whip slot her own. I'm calling it the pre-whip her, honestly. I just feel like that's like so on brand for Sandy. And like she said, every week the her is going to be a little bit different. So make sure everyone, if you have a little bit of time in your schedule, show up to the whip a little bit early and catch what Sandy puts on. Anyways, this is Matthew, y'all. Welcome to the whip. Super stoked that we're Metaverse traveling again this week. Metageist, just OG friend, like Metaverse friend, artist, amazing human being, has crafted some stunning worlds, plural, in the Metaverse. Also, big shout out to Justin and the Mona team who've been doing big things, building out their section of the Metaverse. So make sure if you're not there, jump into Metageist's gallery right here in Mona. Walk around, try not to fall into the depths of the universe over there. But as you're walking and exploring there, make sure you listen in to some of the updates that we have today from folks like Musashi, WIP crew member, and also entrepreneur, who's going to be talking with the co-host about their project Moloch Cloudship. We have Marshall joining us from the Chris Graves project NFT. And of course, Metageist is going to hop on the mic, update us on what he's been cooking up in his neck of the Metaverse. And Process Smith is also going to jump on the virtual stage to talk about Derpy Burbs. And we're going to hop into their gallery space in the Mooniverse. So with that, I don't think there's any reason to keep the folks waiting. But of course, we got to pass the mic to the Metaverse hype master himself, Rizzle, to give us his updates.
Thank you, man. Can you hear me right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh, you fixed yours, Brookhawk? I'm a naked robot wandering around. Start logging into Moonverse or Mooniverse now, because it's gonna take a minute to get in there. But once you're in there, it's pretty dope, and I'm moving around. But I'm still a naked robot. Somehow Brookhawk sidestepped this. he was in solidarity with me. I'm stoked for this. Reunited sort of virtually with Metageist and Process Smith for the first time since NFT NYC. Shout out to those guys. We got awesome stuff. We're gonna do the tour, like Matt said. There's a guest list signed in there, somewhere. So make sure you sign that. Musashi made patty hats for everyone who signed the guest list, and I'm not even like entirely sure what those are. But who doesn't want a Musashi patty hat, right? Guest list isn't in parcel. Okay, so we'll have to figure out how to get that to you. Oh, we broke it. Right on. All right, well, that's like right on form for us. All right, so we broke the guest list. We'll figure it out. But Musashi's got a patty hat for us all if we can figure out how to get the patty hats. Well, if we don't break everything and manage to get in there, Paradox is going to take a group shot with us. I have a small update from last week. The people who won the WWF NFTs, those are still yet to be delivered. I do have your ETH addresses if you're out there listening. That project actually like sort of imploded. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with that after like all the crazy environmentalists like roasted Dragonate on Twitter, like the PR team from WWF like pulled back on the project, and so everything's like still sort of in limbo. So I'm trying to get those NFTs for y'all, but the 3 people who won, we're good for it. Even if we can't get you those, we'll make sure that the people who won last week get like a proper prize. Hang on, I clicked off my screen and now I'm like got all naked robot. Oh no, I'm a bot. That's because I clicked off. Dude, is this Metaverse? Can y'all hear me now? It says I'm connected well. Okay, good.
I can hear you.
All right, right on.
Yeah, we do have a problem though.
What's that?
It seems our chat and our voice channel has disappeared, and my co-host can't get in.
All right. We're going to work on that. Show says press Control R. I have no idea if that's real advice or not, but we will show says it is real advice. So we'll give you a chance. This stuff happens all the time. Refresh Discord. They're saying, Control R is just refresh. Let's see. A couple more things. Our friends Graph Giraffe Gang and our friends Fly Frogs have teamed up for like a charity auction. Half goes to disabled artists, half goes to saving frogs. So if you're down for that kind of thing, I think it expires in like 5 hours or something like that. And like I said, all of it goes to charity. So it's a light shill. It's like a charity shill, I think so. Memes. Last thing, I promise. Memes got these general rewards for contributions to the community. It's in the announcements. I had the locked link last time. I should find you the good one. But if you want to contribute to the meme community, to the WIP community, and get paid for it, there's some sort of like amazing process where you're able to do that and get paid for it. So make sure you sift through the announcements and check it out. Thanks, Brookhawk. Shout out to the crew, as always, traveling the metaverse and putting up with tons of very bizarre complications, technical complications. Easy, Paradox, Show, Timmy, Foxy Yoga, Carolina Dust, Sandy the Meow Meow, Dragonate, Musashi, Commonwealth the Stowaway. Thank you all very, very much for your help. And of course, Matt, my homie and co-host. With that, who's having trouble? Who can talk? Who's around to say something here?
I can still talk because I got in before this happened, but I can't see the chat or the voice channel anymore.
In Discord or in Monaverse?
In Discord.
Oh my, we can hear you. Fortunately.
Who's your
I
co-host,
got
by the
in
way?
before it all. My co-host is Andy. But it also disappeared for me too after I got
Andy's
in.
here.
We got Andy.
Anyway, Musashi, man, just take it away. We'll try to get Andy sorted out, but we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah, take it away, man.
Cool. I can't see the chat, so if anybody's talking, I can't answer any questions yet, but let me know, stop me if there's any questions going on. So we're here to talk about Mullet Digital, which is a build group, or specifically Mullet Cloudship, which is the first project by Mullet Digital. We're going to kind of talk about the reasoning behind Mullet Digital and Mullet Cloudship first. It has a lot to do with our DAOs and sorry, Andy. So I got into space early on as an investor and then a trader, and then really got into it when I started researching a bit more, and I got into it as a tester for Aavegotchi first and Good Ghosting and a bunch of other protocols following that. And I really wanted to build out a gamified event space, a meeting space for all the Aavegotchi community, because they were like my first fan. And sorry, the technical difficulties are not working well today. Death to audio problems. So over the course of the past 2 years, I've gotten involved with a lot of different DAOs, and it is weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself in a room alone. So I got involved in a lot of DAOs, and I found that there was a lot of chaos and entropy involved with this space when we're all trying to coordinate within our DAOs and collaborating together from DAO to DAO, community to community. And, our voting is on all these different platforms: Aragon, Snapshot, DAO House. Our communications are on Twitter and Telegram and Discord. Our write-up articles are on Notion and Medium and Gitbook and HackMD, and our documentation and stack flows for our workflows are on Miro and Figma and GitHub, and it's just found that, like, and now all the Web3 tools that are coming into play are just like, they're phenomenal tooling, they're really useful, but it's actually adding entropy, it's adding chaos to the whole mix, and it's spreading us out further, causing us to actually, our collaboration is becoming more difficult, and it's creating more barriers and slowing us down. So Mullet Cloudship was kind of developed around that problem as a solution. One of the things that we're trying to solve by building Mullet Cloudship is to silo all that work and all that community, all that integration and collaboration into one main hub, one main space. So, like, we're building a giant spaceship within Neos. Why Neos? Because Neos is a type of metaverse that is ever expansive. You can build worlds within worlds within worlds. You just pay for the data storage that is necessary to store it. Everybody gets 1 gigabyte of space for free. It's free to download. You can either get it through Steam, or you can run an independent launcher on your desktop. You can get in and interact and have fun in there, either on a VR set or by desktop. And if the environment is built correctly, you can even get in on mobile. So it's a pretty cool place in that, you're not buying rare land that's in one place and can never move. You can kind of connect to each other connect your worlds together, put worlds inside of other worlds. And so that's kind of the way that we're building this ship, so that each DAO can have a portion of this ship that is theirs, and they can build it out, or they can, finance someone else building it out. Mullet Digital will probably open up to that, but not now. We're currently building out so that other DAOs will have something to follow in their builds. Because one thing we don't want to do is X anyone out who may not have like higher tech, a better hardware to get into a more asset-rich environment that requires a lot of processing and a crappy computer. And dApps that are built, software, all sorts of different stuff, really cool tools, really great information, and not a lot of it is shared cross community. It's kind of hard to, we're all putting it in different places still, and not everyone has access. So this will be like a giant open source library. We have a hot mic. That was a very hot mic. So yeah, it'll be a giant open source library where you can kind of pull from. It'll be like a physical book that you can pull from, whether that'll be a in-world digital asset, or is that a document for tokenomics structure, or a voting structure, or what have you. It can be anything. We're also building this space so that all of our work, a lot of the DAOs that I'm in, like Metagame, I poke around in Raid Guild a bit, and Metacartel's kind of doing a little bit. A lot of us are trying to gamify our work. We already play this game of life, and it's kind of crappy the way it's been set up for us, so we're kind of trying to gamify our own work and our own collaborations that we're doing in such a way that makes it fun to do some of the not so fun work that we do sometimes. So like some of the things that we'll do, we will have some apparitions that might be running around the ship that you can engage with, and if you engage with it, there will be metadata stored in this NPC, this non-player character running around the ship, and that metadata will be, say, a problem that one of our DAOs, or maybe all of our DAOs, is encountering, and we want to solve it. And we might have some possible solutions in there, or none at all. And if you wanted to take on that quest, you would go on a sort of a game quest that kind of leads you down a road of solutions, problem solving. And if you solve that solution, solve that problem, then you would slay the demon or whatever it is, the character in the story, and gain maybe a social token, like Raid Guild would have the raid token, or DAO House would have put a bounty up with their house token. Metagame might put a bounty up with their seed token. So within the game, you're building experience, and so say you read an open source document that all of our DAOs kind of are sharing. It's good information that we consider vital to understanding what we're all trying to do here. That might be displayed in such a way that other characters can understand, like, oh, you've read that document too, we're on kind of the same level. And in ways, this can develop into interconnections between specific members of DAOs that realize, like, hey, a lot of us are really aligned on some of these subjects and things. Maybe we should start a sub DAO on this and really get more focused and honed in on this. So
It's
there's
amazing, man.
a lot of fun stuff. Yeah.
Cool. And then, yeah, I think the explosion earlier was that the speaker shot clock that we whacked as soon as we heard it. Musashi, man, this is amazing. And I think there are some questions that we have for you, if you don't mind taking them now.
Yeah, happy to.
Cool. Showman, whenever you're ready, hit the man with the questions.
Hey, what's up, man?
What up, show?
What's going on, my dude? I'm gonna try to keep this super quick because we kind of went over time there. But let's see. Oh man, I'm so dope to have like one of my favorite people. One of my favorite people speaking. That was I was trying to keep up. I was trying to pay attention. Sorry about that. 1 second. Oh my god, now I'm wasting time.
Oh, good. I'm starting to share my screen so that other people can see what's up.
All right, sorry about that. So aside from Moloch Cloudship sounding like the name of a knockoff Final Fantasy character, what is the origin of those names or terms, and how does that play into what the project is working on?
Yeah, so I just dropped into the wrong world. Let me get out of this. There we go. So Moloch, a lot of us might understand Moloch to be something like a demon or something like that, but in the Web3 space, it's come to represent kind of like the chaos, entropy, or anything bad or negative that may have come out of human collaboration. So like whether it was intentional or unintentional, it's just all the crap that happened from humans trying to collaborate. That's Moloch in its essence. Did I lose you or?
I think maybe that may have been the big question that they had for you. If anyone else has any questions for Musashi, make sure you tag them in Discord. Musashi, I hope you can get back into Discord. I think Control R hopefully should save your Discord life. If not, please leave messages for Musashi and he'll see them when he gets his Discord capabilities back.
I did refresh. I believe that's something on the moderation team. I don't think I can fix that.
Okay, we'll look into that. But Musashi, man, thank you for sharing. And next up, we have Marshall, who just unmute yourself, and then really, really excited to hear what you have going on with the Chris Graves Project NFT.
Hey all, thanks so much first and foremost for having me here. It's really cool to connect with you all, especially outside of my little photo NFT echo chamber. So very, very happy to be here. Little introduction about myself. My name is Marshall Shuttle. I'm part of the KGP NFT team. I'm a working artist based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I work primarily in photography. Spend a lot of my time on the road working for a bunch of different companies and doing professional practice, exhibiting in museums and galleries. My background is I have a master's in photo bookmaking, which is kind of what led me to what we're up to. Chris Graves Projects is a photo book publisher out of New York City. It's been around for about 7-8 years now. Very successful, Has been doing some amazing things. And January last year, we entered into the NFT space. Chris and I started putting our one-to-ones up in different marketplaces and found some really early success in the space, and immediately started thinking, what can we do to bring something new into the space to kind of help elevate artists and to iterate on what's available with the existing tech and marketplaces. And that's when we started building the idea to make actual unique art books onto the blockchain. And that's what led us to founding KGP NFT. And we are kind of, in the final push into our first drop right now. Basically, what as photographers, we've been working primarily in doing one-to-ones on various marketplaces, selling our individual images. But a huge component for artists to share their work outside of these platforms traditionally is to have their entire stories collected into art books. And so we started thinking, how can we bring this into the blockchain? Because it's so important for artists to be able to give their audience their entire story all at once, all their images, not just the individuals, and not just have that be dictated by various marketplaces. So we set out to start creating not only, our own way to attach, PDFs with other elements into them into our site and build our own viewer that was optimal for viewing art books, but we also started exploring, in the space, what had been successful, what was exciting people. So we looked to, various PFP projects and other developments as far as, what are some ways that we can kind of build out and give, some excitement and some incentive into the patrons that want to take this journey with us. So when I say unique photo books, really what we're up to is we release art books in editions. And what I mean by editions is when you mint one of our art books, the book that you own is unique to you, from its numbering, its signature, right down to various traits that are based on a rarity scale that come attached to that book. Things like extended editions, alternate covers, viewing room posters, right down to the real kind of wild stuff is that we're actually attaching one-to-one photographs to the editions. So when you buy one of our photo books, it's not just that you're paying to lift a gate to have access to the same PDF that everyone does. You have a unique book that's attached to that token. And that token might come with it, a one-to-one photograph, or all these other interesting traits. So the whole idea is that, if we're really trying to build in this space and give some power to the artists and give power to the patrons, we have to actually make, books unique. They have to be able to be, sold on secondary markets, traded between artists and collectors. And we also wanted to give an entry point for people, that maybe haven't explored, photography NFTs yet, but, they're a little intimidated maybe by the price point of one-to-ones, or they don't know where to start. So we kind of saw this as this amazing opportunity to not only push the space forward, but to solve a bunch of problems simultaneously, while, making everyone, a little excited around what we're doing. So we're in our little pre-sale period right now, which is going very well. We're just taking signups. We've partnered with Hashku Apps. They're going to be handling all of our pre-sale and minting process. We are associated with the Bitlectro team as well, who's had a lot of success in the space. So we're fortunate to have this amazing team around us. We have this amazing team in the traditional fine art space. And yeah, it's been pretty amazing so far. And we're just kind of waiting to get it out in the open for everybody to see, and experience what it's like to have like a true unique Web3 photo book. So if you check out our socials, it'll have all information on our upcoming release, as well as access for our pre-sale list. All you got to do is throw your email up on there, and you're automatically in to get access to sign up for our pre-sale. And yeah, so I just wanted to thank you all so much for having me here. And if anybody had any questions about what we're doing, I'm more than happy to kind of talk about, how this works or how this is different from what we would consider to be a traditional, traditional digital book, how it ties into secondary marketplaces. I will say very quickly, one of the cool things we're doing is that when you mint a book from us, you do it through our site and you view it in our unique library viewing room. But if say you were to go to a secondary marketplace and look at your book in the wallet, you're not just going to see 550 of the same, JPEG. You're going to see unique animations that display the rarity traits associated with your title. Also, if you happen to pull a one-to-one, what you're going to see on a secondary marketplace is that one-to-one photograph. So moving forward, owning that book is always going to have access to you displaying that one-to-one image on a secondary marketplace, in a gallery space, in a metaverse space. So the whole idea for us is to extend the photography universe and take many cues from the existing, PFP structures that have been so successful as a way to bridge the gap and bring, a new audience into photography and give artists a new way to share their stories.
I love this. I mean, I feel like there's been a few projects that have been trying to crack the combining NFT with the book egg. So I always love to see innovation on this front. I know there's definitely some questions from the audience. Lindsay with an E, I think, had something. Hidden Forces had a question I saw, but I'll leave Show to relay those questions to you.
Hey, Marshall, what's going on?
What's going on?
Not much other than you talking about this great project. We have a question from Lindsay with an E. She would like to know, what's the difference in your mentor and WIP Publishing / Page Styles mentor?
So essentially what we're doing with our process, and I can only kind of speak to what we're doing specifically, but essentially what we're doing is that we were just very specifically tying into making sure that each and every one of our books is a unique group of assets, including PDFs and attachments, rarity traits that are viewed through our viewer on our site, so we can kind of control the viewing experience in the optimal way for photographs. And we can also build that out moving forward to integrate other media, tying that into as well the way that our assets are displayed on secondary marketplaces. So it's really about kind of controlling the viewing process to make it optimal for the way the artist designs and the way the viewer is engaging with it, but also setting it up so that people can transact and view these, in outside and secondaries and galleries in a way that's really kind of speaking to the uniqueness of that individual book.
That's cool. We also have a question from Hidden Forces. He would like to know, what makes it a book if there's no physical aspect to it, as opposed to simply a curated show or bunch of shows?
Sure. So, I mean, really, essentially, when you break it down, a book is really it's a sequential format for organizing media into a direct narrative structure for the artist to dictate the terms of engagement to the viewer. And so we're really just bringing that structure into this space, but we're going to be iterating on that as well. The most important thing about it being a book is the fact that it allows the artist to control the engagement from a base point where it's like, this is the way I need you to view the work in a sequence. Here's the text or the accompanying writing for it. It's a way of distilling the entire story for the viewer. The viewer can then kind of chop it up, go backwards, forwards, however they see fit. But it's really about giving the artist the optimal opportunity to display their entire message. Whereas you start viewing images as individuals and maybe in gallery shows, that's also, curating, but it's not as it's a little bit more of an open experience.
He's doing anything?
Sorry about that, Marshall.
No, it's okay.
We had a hot mic. We had to whack that. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Ooh, yeah, I think,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, you can keep. I think they cut you off just a little bit before the end, but yeah, keep going.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the key about being a book is really the book is a way of organizing an artist's content into a very distilled, structured format that is centered around the way that they want the viewer to engage with it. The cool thing about books is when you give someone access to the full story, the way that the artist really intends for it to be seen, is then you can start extending out of that into gallery spaces. You can play around with shows with different sizes and things like that. But we're really just kind of taking what the book is seen as the physical content right now. We're starting there, but we're gonna move forward into that. There's going to be integration of things like music and video, elements of time, how those integrate into metaverse spaces, how those integrate into gallery spaces. So we're really just kind of getting the ball rolling in the space to tell people, show people that books can be valid. In the NFT space, they can be unique, they can be transacted, and they can actually be owned.
Awesome stuff. If anyone else has any questions for Marshall, make sure you tag them in Discord. I just shared the links once again. So folks that are interested, make sure you sign up for the pre-sale access. I saw Metageist already did that. I know a bunch of others did too. But Marshall, man, thank you so much for jumping on the virtual stage and sharing with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's really nice to connect with you all. Thank you.
Cool. And next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Metageist in the house. Metageist, man. There we are. Take it away, sir.
You can hear me. Good. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, nice one. Welcome to the Spinneret. Thank you very much for joining me here. This came about in a bit of a weird way, and there was a conversation with Sandy Meows and a couple of other the WIP crew about the Derpy Burbs project, and I decided that it might be a great idea to get the Burbs on the WIP to shed some light on that sort of underrated project that's sort of flown under the radar for a lot of people and is super cool. So the concept was for me to build a gallery and then showcase the Derpy Burbs artwork in the gallery. And then the gallery ended up being essentially a giant Metageist sculpture, and I felt like that was completely hijacking the event. And I didn't want to sort of do a Derpy Burbs sort of show where I interview Smith about his artwork and then just like guide people around the inside of a giant Metageist piece. So what we've decided to do is to start off in this space, talk a little bit about like the Metaverse and about some of my work briefly, have a little bit of a romp around. I can answer any questions people might have, and then we'll move on to the Derpy Burb space that I've just been throwing together over the last couple of days, which has gone really well actually, and it's quite a nice example of how quickly you can throw together these spaces when you really need to at short notice. So yeah, everybody who's in the gallery at the moment, you are on sort of probably on the ground floor. It's like a 3 or 4 floor venue. There's a few little secrets. Every time a new person joins, it lags a little bit. So that's why it might seem like it's lagging every now and again. But I think it's when someone else joins. So yeah, it will pass. It's just periodic. But yeah, this ground floor shows some of the metafiler. I know that Matthew's got one of these guys, and a bunch of other people have probably got some of these pieces. They're from over a year ago now. The metafiler dropped as a $60 collectible pack drop on the Nifty Gateway, and they were my first 3D sculptures. And they are based on sort of simple organisms, so jellyfish, crabs, insects, things like that. Because the long play I've got here is that I'm going to be building a world from the characters upwards, something that you can do in the NFT space that you couldn't really have done before as an individual artist. So I thought it was quite poetic to start with simple organisms like jellyfish and single-celled animals and small sort of deep-sea creatures and things like that. And these characters evolve over time. So you can see the gold guy in the middle is a temple hermit. He's got like a temple on his head, and we are now in a version of him inside a gallery that is based on him. So there's like this narrative that weaves through from the early characters upwards through my drops, and they evolve over time. So you can trace the lineage of all of my drops back through past art drops. Yeah, so feel free to have a little explore around. You can ask me any questions. There's like a moving platform here at the back, and it will do one of two things. It will either take you to the next floor if you time the jump correctly. I do recommend third person in this, so you can press V and it will snap you out the back of your own head and give you third person view. And the gamification, the platform game sort of aspects of this are a lot easier then. If you hold down shift, you can run, so you can move faster and you'll jump further. It's a little bit tricky with the lag popping in every now and again, but you can either jump on that platform or you can balance yourself along the slippery water tentacle to get onto the next floor. If you can get to the next floor, okay, and it's deliberately a little bit tricky because I have ambition to create games. Basically, my universe I'm building over time via NFT support is going to be a game. So I've started doing like balancing beams and platforms and things like that. And on the second floor, you can see some of my art collection from a bunch of people that I look up to in the space. What's really cool about the Metaverse parcels, and if Justin's in or anyone from Mona is in and they want to chat, then please feel free to interrupt and say hello and talk about the Metaverse, because it's something that's really inspired me. But basically, you can mint this whole space as an NFT. So it does away with the real estate model of some of the other NFT platforms when it comes to environments. And then you can actually replace some of the aspects. So these sculptures on the ground floor can be replaced with different art by the owner, and so can the canvases on the second floor. So if you own this gallery, you can change the art in those canvases and replace them with any image and go to any URL. So I've chucked in some of mine, but if you were, for instance, to buy this gallery, you would be able to change the artwork and make it your own. But I'm not going to be selling this gallery. I think what I'm going to be doing is waiting until the token gating feature is available and making sure that the only people that can use it as their own galleries are people who own old Metageist NFTs. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, if there's any questions, don't feel free to sort of reach out and shout out to me. I'm going to be running a little competition as well over the next sort of 24 hours. If you take selfies in this space, tag me, put them up on Twitter. I'm going to give away a Nifty Gateway NFT from my first Metafiner drop that I've been holding. I saw someone selling it for way below floor, so I snapped it up and I've been waiting for an excuse to pass it on to somebody as a gift. So if you want to take any selfies, press V, go to third person, stand in front of your favorite artwork, or you'll get bonus points if you find the X-Copy grifter, which is a bit tricky to get to. And if you post that on Twitter or whatever, you'll be in the competition, and I'll be sending an NFT from the first Nifty Gateway drop to you as a gift. And then sooner or later, we're going to move on to the Derpy Burbs gallery and talk about them and talk to Process Smith, who's with me on the second floor at the moment. And we'll have a little chat about their space and do the same sort of thing there as well. Sorry for the random sort of ramble, but I think that covers everything.
There we go. And then show, man, if you have any questions for Metageist, hit him with those questions.
Oh man, we've been on a roll with like my favorite people, my favorite minds in the space.
Sure, how's it going?
Not much, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. This is it's weird for me because I've been sort of spouting on about the metaverse since before it was a cool, like a buzzword, and yet hadn't actually built a space. So I'm quite nervous because this is my first space. What's interesting about the gallery is it was made in Gravity Sketch, so it was all models from scratch using a VR tool on a wireless headset with free software. So it's quite cool to know that you sort of unfold this place like origami and then invite people to travel around it with you. And it's kind of the metaverse, the essence of the metaverse, sort of panning out as I'd expected. Probably about a year later than I expected to get around to it, but at the same time, yeah, really happy to have people in here.
Yeah, I'm curious about that with things like Gravity Sketch and all sorts of other tools. Why are you so talented, and how can people do all these cool things with Gravity Sketch and Oculus that you're doing?
Well, before I started doing this and making money from it with NFTs, I was actually teaching pensioners, like literally 70, 80-year-old men and women in care homes and hospitals, and children how to do it. That was my job. I was sort of like running workshops and sharing these sort of spatial design skills with anyone and everyone in the community who wanted to do it. And Tilt Brush on the Oculus Quest, which is like $299 to buy, is usable by anyone. Like literally anybody can do it. So you can jump into the headset, start making shapes. You will inevitably do a massive neon scribble mess and freak out and encase yourself in nonsense the first few times. But after a couple of goes, you start to figure it out. And then it's the easiest way to make 3D designs ever. Like it's incredibly, incredibly intuitive. So like anyone can do it. The hard stuff is when you get to Unity and you want the lighting to work well. You want there to be a sense of atmosphere. So music and particles and clouds and stars and the sun moving around the space and all that sort of thing. That's all stuff that I'm doing for the first time. So it's not really about talent. It's just about tenacity and just like carrying on going despite wanting to throw the computer out the window because you don't know how to do anything fast. Because I can use quite a lot of programs quite quickly, but when it comes to anything 3D, I'm still like pretty much a noob. So this took 2 weeks basically from start to finish, and that's not including any of the animals and sculptures. So it took me quite a long time, and it was a steep learning curve. But when we go to the Derpy Burbs bit in a minute, that only took me less than 2 days, like probably a day and a half. So it is just about sticking with it, because Unity that these spaces are made in is actually free, and you don't need like a really beefy computer at all. And you can also buy assets if you want, so you don't have to model everything from scratch like I've done here. You could just buy assets. But we're going to another place. So I'm going to share the link now to the Derpy Burbs gallery. And then if you want to come back to mine and do selfies or whatever, then you can do. So yeah, the link is in the Discord now. So close down the Metageist one because you don't want both of them running. And then load up the Burbs. And we'll see if Process is in. Process should be in the call. Hopefully his mic works. You might want to mute the background sound by muting the tab. Can everyone hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you. And Process,
Cool.
yeah, whenever he unmutes, you should be able to talk too.
Process, Smith, are you there?
Oh, there I am.
Oh yeah, cool. Nice one.
You got me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we got you.
Nice.
We're just jumping into space now. Oh, Skeeny's here. Hello, Skeeny. Yeah, so what I was saying was this space, essentially, I'm not going to sort of take full credit, of course, for the build because I just went to the Unity asset store and I bought a load of trees and plants and things like that. So they weren't molded from scratch, but they cost $10 for everything. And I just built an environment and then added sky, added some particles, and then got Smith to send me some Burbs. And if Smith just wants to say hello and introduce himself and a little bit about the Burbs, and then I will sort of like ask him some questions and guide it, and we can look into it. Because like the artwork, you just have to walk up to these birds and look closely at the artwork because they are all hand painted, and there is so much detail in them. And this is a really nice way of actually seeing that detail come to pass.
Before we do, hey, Process. Sorry, before we do, there were a couple of questions in regards to the previous build. I just want to make sure we get to them. I'll actually just combine it. So, from Mark Rendar and Rizzle, they wanted to know what's the difference between Mona and Decentraland, and in regards to selfies and submitting them, where can we enter and how do we do that?
Sorry, pardon? Was that for me?
Yeah. That was for you before we transition into Derpy Burbs.
Oh, sorry. You said something about Decentraland. I was I'm trying to figure out I was a bit distracted then. Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, no problem. So I'm just gonna combine this, make it super quick. From Mark Rendar and Rizzle, they wanted to know what's the difference between Mona and Decentraland ownership side, and also where in Mona can we submit our selfies and enter?
Yeah, so you can. Well, the difference between the two is that the Monaverse doesn't have like this real estate land model, so you don't need. There's no barrier of entry in terms of needing any kind of monetary, like any kind of funds to get in. You don't have to buy land. You literally just download their template, a Unity template from their website for free. You download Unity for free, and then you create your space. You keep it under 180 megabytes, which is quite a lot, but you can do a lot with it. And then you can upload it and mint it. Off the top of my head, I can't think how Mona makes any money. I think maybe they take some money on the sales. Maybe someone can jump in and help me out with that. But I think ultimately you don't really have to spend any money. So Decentraland is really expensive, and it's hard to get into it unless you've got land or someone who's going to rent it to you for affordably. And when it comes to sharing your selfies, then you literally just take screen grabs. And then paste it up into Twitter. So you can just press like on a PC, you can press Shift Window S, and it will take a screen grab of where you are, or you can press Print Screen, take a screen grab, and then you can paste that into Twitter, and then that's the way you would take a selfie. There's nothing within the Monaverse for that specifically.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Metageist. Hey, everyone. Justin from Mona, just jumping into everything. Yeah, just echoing what Metageist said. Mona just takes a 2.5% royalty on every Metaverse space sale through OpenSea, and artist royalties for the creator are fixed at 5%. So like Metageist said, it doesn't cost anything to get started. There's no land you need to buy. You can create in your native 3D toolset and actually mint the 3D space so that these beautiful spaces we're in are actually NFTs that you can hold on to or sell or have hangouts in. So those are like the main differences. But just wanted to hop in there, and thanks for doing this, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah. Process, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your Burbs project then while we run around. Oh, and there is a POAP to be found. There's a POAP to be found in here. It's hidden away, but if you find it, you can click on it and you can gain your POAP. So go have a look.
Yeah. So there's a POAP hidden somewhere. Don't get stuck with it. I'm sure we can point you in the right direction. Show you the way. What's up, guys? I just want to say, big thanks for inviting me on, and to Metageist for putting this Mona gallery together for the Burbs. It's it's really awesome. It's just really amazing how quickly he was able to put it together. I know you spent quite a long time working on your own one. To sort of see how this went from a conversation to an actual we're here now. So it's a metaverse space is it's really cool seeing the sort of the tech that Mona's got there. Burbs. Derpy Burbs, man. What can I say? These little fellas. Like Metageist was saying, that the artwork is super detailed. Particularly like the Gen 2s. So this space that we're in right now, all the Burbs that you see here, this is actually the Gen 2 Burbs. So they're actually a lot more detailed than Generation 1. Generation 1 was 8,192 at mint, and so Gen 2 is half that supply. So each generation that we have for a breeding mechanic halves. So each generation. So Generation 3 will be half of Gen 2, so it will go 8192, 4096, 2048, 1024, etc. So that's the kind of the concept behind the breeding mechanics on Burbs, but really what the Burbs project is about for me is it's all about the exploration of the art and how we can use the generative concept to produce variety and kind of randomization and character out of simple components. I kind of really fell in love with the idea of generative projects like this, just for that reason. And I've always said that this is not a PFP project. I never sort of designed these things to be just like all other PFP projects. I wanted to try and do something that was kind of use the format, but was actually really just all about exploring the artwork. And so the concept for the generations is simply that they just they each supply halves, but also each generation the artwork is becomes more complex, more weird, more elaborate, more strange. So I don't know exactly where we're going to end up at Generation 14 if we get there. That'll be the one of one. Eventually we get down to a single Burb. So
when Process and I were on our way to New York to hang out with you guys, we had to obviously go to Barbados for a bit, and I remember being bouncing around in the swimming pool in our hotel, brainstorming about the Burbs and talking about them. And there's a really nice long, I don't know how much you want to give away, but there's kind of there's a grand story to them, and I do want to just share that if you look at these Burbs and you understand that the only reason that they're derpy is because they kind of represent small shards of some grand psychedelic being, and because it's been split up into 8,000 odd pieces, they're inevitably derpy. But as they breed and merge, they become more sort of aware and they sort of ascend and transcend through each generation. So they kind of we talked. We'd had a lot of rum and we were in the swimming pool, and we were on a bit of a high because we were on our way to the US after COVID. So, yeah. But we were talking about how they're they represent them. They manifest themselves in a way that makes them appealing to us. But behind that, there's something a lot more sort of like sincere and strange and big and godly about them. And you can see hints of that in some of the artwork. So like if you go to the back of the space, just to give you a bit of a hint, that's roughly where the POAP is. Where it starts to get a bit more alive and there's more plants and butterflies. You can see the guy with the sunglasses has got like this like galaxy inside him, but he's still like a stupid bird, right? But he's got like this sense of like the vastness inside him, and you can see little hints in all the different designs. And they're all part of what happens when you sort of pick when you lay an egg, you breed the generation 1 birds. And then you can get a generation 2, and then there'll be more in the future, and you'll see that they're basically like this phoenix slowly unfurling out of the ashes.
Yeah, that's beautifully summed up, man. That was lovely. That was lovely to listen to, because it's like So we the full kind of backstory, the full kind of that as you sort of just sort of hinted at, the story has yet to be told. So. Yeah, this is they are cosmic beings. That's the thing with the burbs. I mean, I'm not even convinced they're birds. They look like that to us, but
yeah,
who knows?
I like that they're just PNGs in here. So if you look at them from the back, they disappear. Like they're just like they're the 2-dimensional versions of what they could possibly be in the future.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm currently I'm kind of working on building 3D models of these. So, we're kind of in the process of exploring that. There's so many directions that I want to go in with verbs, but like really, as you were just saying, like really the next kind of part of it is getting that kind of backstory and that sort of those concepts that you were just sort of explaining kind of out to people. So that's something that we're working on getting that right.
There's a POAP. If you want to look for the bird that's got what looks like big round Metageist eyes, that's a bit of a hint as to where the POAP is, if there's people still running around looking for that.
Yeah, there is a sign. You will see a sign, and it will show you the way. Yeah. So yeah, birds are interdimensional cosmic beings, man. That's what they are. And like you said, they're derpy because they've kind of been. The idea is really like the reason they're here is like the reason they got here is this kind of the idea that like the universal cosmic source kind of like as humanity starts to build this kind of these new realities and these new metaverses, it's kind of like the cosmic source seeds things with life, and so like its energy has been sent here, and this is kind of like the life force of what verbs are. That's kind of like how they're manifested. But like I want to keep like I always kind of see like verbs as having these kind of split personalities where they go. There's this total like this really cosmic weirdness, and they just get like really crazy and like everything's possible. But then like from generation 1, you've got like they're much simpler, and they're just cute and they're just cool, and they're just kind of like they just make you smile and bring you joy. So it's. I really, verbs were just like that thing that sort of came out of, sort of developed in front of me as I was making them. They sort of like manifested in front of me without, I was just following the lines and just trying to like bring something together that just really felt to me like it was capturing something of the moment that I was in at the time. So, something that had all this potential for like this weirdness and coolness, but also was just silly,
Yeah, and the show's just said like process Smith makes sense now, and yeah, that's exactly what you've always been. It's always been about the creative process is actually the point of it, right? And the artwork that comes out of that creative process is a side effect of where the energy really is and the journey really is. So on that note,
yeah, sorry, yeah, that's right. Yeah, process. It's like I don't produce work in a straight line. Things occur along the way. and the skill is to be present to spot them and like then put the work in to manifest them when that occurs. And that's, you know. Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people at the Derpy Burbs POAP now.
Yeah.
There is wording on his wing, and if you go to your POAP app or go to the POAP website and type in what you can see written on his wing as a tattoo, then that will download the NFT POAP for you.
Yeah, your secret phrase is tattooed on there. All one word, lowercase. Just
it's cool. There's quite a lot of people here. That's nice.
Yeah, you found it. That's cool.
We'll post a link to POAP in the Discord as well. I don't know if Show's found any questions pop up at all, but it'd be good to see if there's any.
Yeah, I'm like much better at like people ask questions and stuff now. Like I'm much better responding to that than just talking about the project. I forget things.
Yeah, there are many questions. What's going on, Process? How are you feeling?
Hi man, I'm good. How are you?
It's cool. The style of the Burbs from an illustration perspective seems very familiar. What was the source of inspiration for the art style? I know that you mentioned that this kind of manifested from just you being in your own head, like on your own flow, but was there any particular source?
Yeah, it's a great question. Do you know what? No. In my artwork, like I've got a background in graffiti and street art, and I've drawn birds, like these little bird characters for years, and this is really just a refinement of characters that I've been drawing in much more simpler forms. There is something about them that feels familiar. I mean, obviously, I've taken I've taken some references to sort of other PFP projects that were around at the time, like not too many. There are some things there from there, but yeah, the style of it, man, I don't know. It's not from any one source. It's just from like kind of a lifetime of appreciating kind of graffiti and street art culture and like some comic artists. So it's not. It's one of those things that's kind of ethereal. It's not something that you sit with kind of a reference like this. Oh, I'm going to create something in this style or do something like this. It's kind of I guess where you sort of like feel it out, as you're kind of producing it, you kind of feel like something's pushing in a certain direction more. But this is the other thing as well. Is like a lot, like as I was drawing these in the trades, right? So I'm working in Procreate on the iPad, and like as I'm drawing these, like I don't see like when they mint randomly. There's combinations like I would never have put together coming out from like the generative process, and that like this like character and the way things look, it just like really surprised me. So I think part of it is they have like just like they have a life of their own. I think like generative work does in that way. But yeah, I think it's I tell you, there is one thing. Do you know Vaughn Boda? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Did the Cheech Wizards, like Lizard Zen? I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this dude. There is a little bit of that in there, in the way that the legs, in the way that they stand. So I would say that some of their attitude comes from those comics.
Cool. Well, maybe that's the last question there. So if there's any other questions, make sure you tag Process or Metageist in the chat. The Process, Metageist, I want to thank you both for not just stepping up on the virtual stage, but for creating these beautiful worlds and stewarding these projects along. keeping them exciting and vibrant, and just continuing to experiment and do fun things.
Thank you. Cheers for letting us in. If anyone's got stuck trying to get that part up, then just reach out to me and we'll send you the link. Some people are having trouble there, but thank you very much for persisting through the laggy world and coming through and doing a little treasure hunt with us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Well, I think the next stop would be a group photo. I'm not sure if Moon is still working for a lot of people. It kind of froze for me. But Rizzle Man, what do you think? What should we do next?
Let Paradox make the call. Okay, Paradox is saying we can skip it if we want to next week. Yeah, this was this was quite the traveling adventure. I think we managed to break just about everything throughout the course of this event. It seemed like structured chaos throughout the whole thing, which is proper form for us. We've got like a couple things that people are still trying to find. I think a lot of people had trouble finding the guest list in Mona. And I know Meme's got 50 meme tokens for everyone who completes the quest form. So let's make sure we got the links to the Mona gallery out there. The guest list should be located right as you walk into Metageist's. I can't mint this POAP, this most recent one either. There's like 10,000 POAPs, a guest list, a patty hat, meme tokens. So everyone, hang on to all the links. Make sure you sign all the things. If it took a while, we're not going to take them down. So just pop in them later today. Take the selfies, do all the things, POAP. And I think, make sure you get that POAP. That's the WIP POAP on top of the other POAPs. All right, I think not post guest list in chat. Yes, not post guest list in chat. Says Johan DMing me. No, hang on to the link and come back later. We'll leave them up in the Mona gallery from Metageist and everything. We'll get you that link in a second after I'm done rambling my mouth. And maybe while show's doing the afterys, y'all can do that. Hopefully Paradox got some footage. I slacked on the dropping the Paradox video today. Somehow it escaped me. If you didn't catch last week's video, tell you what, I'm going to drop that tweet here because it also contains the link from the Mona gallery with the guest list in it that you guys can come back to later. So check out the video from last week. Hang out and get in the video for this week. That has the link to the Mona gallery with the guest list in it. I think that's everything. Do all the things. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Metageist says that POAP works on the mobile app, Burb Life, so now you gotta download an app and POAP over there too. While show's doing the afties. Show, bring this weird burned out ship home, dude.
Sorry, guys.
Oh wait, who just said sorry? What's
That
wrong?
was Metageist. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just sort of saying sorry for the chaos. Last time I tried to do this, it went tits up as well. But thanks for your perseverance.
It was not just you, man. It was chaos from start to finish. That's how we roll. So please don't feel responsible, man. It's fun to do new things.
There's nothing to apologize about, y'all. There's so many talented artists in here. The number one thing is that there are no mistakes or anything of the sort. I don't see any. I didn't experience any. This is the WIP. And for those of you that have no idea what's about to happen, do me a favor. Adjust the volume on your speakers. Adjust your headphones. If you feel like you want to take a pull or a toke of some greenery, you can do that as well. Make sure you're in the channels that you need to be in. Let me clear my throat because my throat's been feeling a little derpy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam, what the fuck is up? What the fuck is up? Fam. Fam bam, thank you ma'am, fam. I want you to think about that word fam. There's a reason why I say it all the time. Fam, just like you, this week I needed a little pick-me-up. The coffee wasn't enough. The space, I keep telling you, it's like it's boring. I just needed a little bit of something funny to break out of the monotony. And in regards to space, I mean, not to be confused with the endless Twitter spaces that go around in circles. People are constantly talking about the same thing and they hear each other and then suddenly they're on the news. They're like, oh my God, I just came into the space 5 months ago and then I made $1 million and like, they're circling the drains, the gutters. These voices, they circle the gutters. They have nothing that interests me, but yet there's thousands of people in them. Specifically, they circle New York gutters. The worst kinds of things circle the sewers of New York City. And you want to know the biggest thing that circles the gutters, the sewers in New York? The enemy are young couples. Young couples. I hate young couples. Especially this week. Oh my God. The next couple of days, the fucking young couples skipping down the fucking street, eating chocolates, fucking carrying teddy bears everywhere. I want to toss them into the gutter. Oh my God. Singing songs to each other, holding hands. Oh my fucking God. Young couples of all shapes and sizes. They're so young. They're so coupled up. Rub it in my face. No, don't rub it in my face. Don't actually, you rub. They're too busy rubbing each other. They don't have time to rub anyone else in the face. You don't believe me? Come here and experience this tag team of highly opinionated and aggressive squads that watch Euphoria together and believe that they can win American Ninja Warrior and Fear Factor. Just from watching the shows. They're like, I can do that while eating their chocolates out of heart-shaped fucking boxes together. I can do that. Wearing socks in the bed. Wearing socks in the bed, putting the crumbs in the bed from their feet. Because they're so focused on each other. There's no fear of crumbs. There's no fear of Twitter spaces. There's no fear for the young New York couple. Trust me, this is going to make sense in a moment. All right? There's a reasoning behind this. So much so that a young couple in New York, in the space, made headlines. They made fucking headlines. You know why? Because this couple had no fear. And better yet, they gave zero fucks. This young couple believed that if they were on Fear Factor, they would eat the larvae of some fucking insects. The bull balls. They would, if they were on American Ninja Warrior, they can dodge all the bullets. In 2016, this couple fucking hacked one of the biggest crypto exchanges that exist, Bitfinex. They had the balls to do this. Mind you, in this time, right? Bitcoin, this was a year before the big run up, right? They thought people weren't paying attention. You know, the hack already happened on Ethereum. Things happen, right? But this couple, being New Yorkers, no fear of anything, trying everything that they could, believed that no one was gonna find it. Oh, we know. We're tech savvy. We're gonna create endless wallets and we're gonna send it in the fucking loop. We're gonna shift it every now and again. No one is gonna notice. No one is gonna notice, even though this was a male and female couple, by the way. There's a reasoning behind this because well, we can't say male and female anymore. So the guy and the girl, the guy, right, was part of Y Combinator. He's super into tech. He's an average fucking dev, but yet he's connected. The girl, she writes for Forbes, and she also moonlights as I guess as a rapper too. She went by the name of Razzle Khan, not to be confused with Rizzle. She's Razzle Khan. I guess she's razzling, fucking dazzling. So this is all gonna make sense in a moment. Trust me. They were out in the open. They were saying, "Hey, look, we're here to protect people, and we're gonna teach people about cybersecurity." But then the girl creates a rap song that's for entrepreneurs and hackers. And then a month later, they do this thing. My point, though, is that you have some serious balls, and I think you needed to eat the balls from Fear Factor in order to do this type of shit, right? To be so out in the open, right? To be so connected to so many things and then be greedy enough. I mean, dude, you were part of Y Combinator. You didn't get no funding. That was the height of 2016, 2015 was the height of that shit. No one even fucking does that shit anymore because they're all in Web3. But you can't tell me you didn't have no funding. Funding your girl's rap career because maybe you missed out on giving her chocolates for the Valentine's Day in 2016. You're like, you know what, babe? Babe, I'm gonna give you some. We're gonna do this thing because I need to be a real man in your life. They shifted the funds in an elliptical orbit. There's literally a graph, right? You can search it. They were utilizing Wasabi wallets, and they kept trying to shift the funds and then send it over the years. But these dumbasses didn't realize that there's already mixers that are anonymous. I'm not gonna tell you how to do cybercrime. I'm not gonna fucking educate you. You should know this already. You're already writing for Forbes about this. You should know. They did this. But the most shocking thing was that the U.S. government was able to do digital forensics and follow the trail, which is both a good and a bad thing because they had this narrative about money laundering, and they're trying to put the police. We need more police to protect people. Just like in New York, it's the same thing. No, we don't really need police, Elizabeth Warren. Not in the crypto space, not in New York City. We don't need it. We don't need police people telling you what to fucking do. But this dumbass couple were the opposite of ninjas. You're all over the place. You're not hiding shit. How did you let the dumbass fucking Department of Justice be able to track your... I don't know what to do. My whole point, though, is that relationships don't work. And fuck Valentine's Day. Welcome to the Afties, y'all. I'm your host, show. You already know. If you don't know what this is, you're like, what is going on? What? I thought I came here for the... Listen, this is the Afties. You just had 4 awesome presenters present some awesome shit. Now I want an awesome opinion. Don't run away. Don't write it on Forbes. Don't create a cringe song. Don't name yourself Razzle Khan. Don't try to razzle dazzle us with anything. I want you to give us an opinion, phrase it in the form of a hot take. What did you experience? Yeah?
Here's my hot take. You're mad because you're single.
We're gonna get to that. But here's my first. Look. Oh God, I'm so livid by this couple. In regards to our first presenter, I was inspired. You know, it seems like there was like a thing with names, you know, with Razzle Khan, Mala Cloud Ship, you know, this feels like some kind of like a documentary on A24. If you know anything about movies, A24 is like the new Lionsgate, is like the new indie producer thing for Sundance. Sundance isn't even the same. But with these names, like these big, like they remind me of Japanese RPGs. I told you before I love Japanese RPGs. Oh, wait, do you hear the sirens in the background? No, they're not coming for me. They're coming for these names. Why are you creating dumbass names? Mala Cloudship is not dumb. But my point, though, I don't believe that you can get this far. You can't get this far being so out in the open like this. You can be out in the open, but I don't understand. There's thousands of BTC on the table, and now the government has it, and they can keep the shit. They're competing with Russia. Thank you, Razzle Khan and Ilya Lichtenstein, Heather Morgan and Ilya Lichtenstein, right? Maybe if you would have changed your name, maybe if you would have used a tornado, what is it? You throw the money into the tornado chain thing, and it thank you. See, I'm not trying to incriminate myself, but you know who tried to? That dumbass couple, and the result of that was giving the U.S. government so much PTC that they're not at liberty to even give back to people. Now, it gives them competition power with Russia. Thoughts? But I feel like America was losing. America was losing. They're writing shit in order to kneecap themselves. America literally, the U.S. Department of Treasury has been continuously sneaking in things. Recent as of last week, according to Coin Center, shout out to them. They're fighting a good fight. Hey, the U.S. Department of Treasury, Janet Yellen, again tried to sneak in a provision that would have given the SEC sweeping powers in regards to shutting down exchanges. It would have given them sweeping powers. Do you want that's not their jurisdiction? These dumbasses would have did that. Why? Because they want to inflate the power of the dollar, even though Joe Biden fucked up. Hey, listen, this isn't about politics, whatever. But there is a thing here where the idiocy, if Janet Yellen was starting a rap career and whoever she's involved with was part of Y Combinator, but yet you're doing this thing it's kind of like if Y Combinator donated all this money, they provided grants to the SEC, and the SEC is like, no, it's cool, we're just gonna steal it from the people because we want to compete with Russia. Do you see what my through line is? Do you see what my process Smith is? Thoughts? Do you get this? Moving on, next subject, because I'm so upset with Valentine's Day. Back in the day, in regards to the second presenter, right? Back in the day, when you're in public school and you're sitting in the front of the class and you're being picked on and bullied, but then one day, that special someone you got a crush on, they write a little note. They're like, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe so, and then check the boxes, right? And then they send you that note, and then it's like, oh my God, you're with them, you're with them for life, and then you start taking pictures, on those little like cameras where not Polaroids. That Polaroids are too fucking old. I'm talking about millennials. Millennials will have a disposable camera where you have to go right, and then you have to wait for years for the shit to be developed or whatever. Those photo albums, I want to burn those fucking photo albums. Thoughts. KGP wants to make them like last forever. I don't want to make the memories last forever.
What is it?
Thoughts. I don't want it to last for, oh my God, an endless Valentine's Day, 364 days out of the year instead of 1 day out of the year. Endless. Oh my God. Endless is going to clean up these candles. Endless flower petals. This shit is, who's going to do this? I'm not cleaning this shit up. Oh my God, the scented candles, the scented liquid soap in the jacuzzi. Who's gonna get rid of this? This bedroom smells bad enough. This bedroom smells bad. The KGP NFT. These photo albums are gonna make this shit last forever. Some things need to be forgotten. Some things need to be forgotten. Go ahead. I can't. We're putting it on the blockchain. No. No, you can't because it's endless screwing. It's Valentine's Day. You're not allowed to stop. KGP wants you, they want to take pictures of you screwing in every position. It's fucking Valentine's Day. I can't do it. Some things need to be drunkenly forgotten. Shit, 365 days of Valentine's Day? What the fuck, man? What has everyone thought? What? I am upset. It gets to the point where your significant other is gonna have to start changing their name and start being a cringe rapper and writing on Forbes about random shit. What are you gonna do? Like, how the fuck does that relationship even happen? Ilya Lichtenstein is a dev, and his girl is a part-time writer on Forbes who does cringe fucking hip hop. It's not even hip hop. It's not hip hop. I won't even fucking go that far to even say, because like it has nothing to do with the culture. She's just like, what the fuck is she? How does that shit even work? They weren't rich. They messed up the bag. They fucked up the bag. They literally got the bag from hacking it. Right? And they didn't know how to liquidate properly. They didn't know. Just like the jacuzzi, they didn't know how to liquidate it properly. So now there's shit floating all over the place, and the government just so happened to hop in a jacuzzi with them. Next hot take in regards to shout out to Metageist. Oh man, this fucking talent oozing out of his jacuzzis. All the multiple jacuzzis that he's got going on. So much talent. Oh my God, man. To have the vision to create all of these insectoids floating in space and doing all of this stuff. I mean, it takes a lot of vision. It takes a lot of vision, you know? I wish that we could turn it into a live action TV show like Fear Factor or American Ninja Warrior, but put it in space, add some space insects, make it Ender's Game. The main character, it'll be like It'll be like an RPG. Like you make the main character, the name is Razzle Khan, you know, and she's floating on a teddy bear with a heart as a collar. If anyone could make sense of it, it would be Metageist. My hot take is that we need more creativity in the space. There's not enough creativity. Thoughts? Thoughts? No, 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 no. No, I'm circling back. I'm circling back because if that couple could circle back because they fucked up, I can circle back too. We don't need creativity. There's too much creativity. There's too much. We can do that if Mona Gallery and Crypto don't show properly. You know, everyone's seeing gray already. Let's keep it that way. Right, we need some more hardware acceleration, both in the bedroom and on our Chrome browser. Moving on, last but not least, shout out to Derpy Birds and Process Smith. See, that's a doper name than Razzle Khan or even her real name, Heather Morgan. Oh my God, Process Smith sounds cool. That sounds like a real rapper name. To be honest with you, that sounds like a real hip hop name because it's not. Here's the thing, right? It's not about coming up with something so outlandish and then everything is just as cringy. It's like, no, you have to subtle but good, subtle but good. You know, same thing as Jack's Hideaway. It's subtle, but good. But then we are not so subtle. We are out here. You're in your endless Valentine's Day, walking in the street, right? You know, writing on Forbes, endless PDA, right? Because I assume that couple, Heather Morgan and Ilya Lichtenstein, are all about fucking public displays of affection, going to brunch, you know, constantly like Eskimo kissing over their fucking bottomless mimosas, you know. And she's like, oh my God, I just had a new article written for Forbes about the 10 different ways that you can secure your net connection. And then he's like, oh my God, yeah, I just connected with Alexis Ohanian. You know, he retweeted my tweet. You know, I'm in the 10th round of receiving this grant for $100 from Y Combinate. Like, imagine the fucking cringe. Their life is cringe. Their life is cringe. They want to give us endless fucking Valentine's Day, and they hope that we'll be not so subtle as we'll be not so subtle as Razzle Khan, you know, thinking that they're as subtle as Process Smith. Maybe they're fucking derpy. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Who said that? Say that on a microphone. Maybe it's like an infection. Valentine's Day is like an infection. They want to infect you. Think of all the endless infections that you've experienced during every single Valentine's Day, the endless infections that you've received in the motels from the Valentine's Day bed sheets, the heart-shaped beds. Imagine the feeling of PDAs, but then all day, every day. That's what this is. That's what this is. Public displays of affection. I love you, no, I love you, no. Shut. Oh, there's a reason why these two fucked up. Aside from, I have a conspiracy theory. I think that they were hired by the U.S. government in order for the U.S. government to control 90,000 BTC. That's just that shit. Because like they're not gonna pay Bitfinex back. I don't think, because they're trying to get the Treasury to have sweeping control over. I'm so bitter. I'm so bitter. This holiday is coming up. Please take care of yourselves. Wrap it all up. Not to be confused with rapping like Razzle Khan. All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Be careful. Don't eat all the sweets. All right. Don't be like this couple. All right. You can do better. You can be better. Y'all. All right. Thank you so much for coming through this edition of the Athletes. I'm your host, show you already know if you don't know. Thank you so much to the entire WIP crew. Thank you to the entire leadership team here at Meme. Shout out to the WIP fam. Thank you so much. Please keep your eyes and ears open. There's a bunch of things going on, and I'll see you later.